The story begins on the rugged Viking island of Berk, a place where life is defined by one constant threat: dragons. Almost every day, dragons descend from the skies to steal livestock, burn homes, and terrorize the villagers. One night, another dragon attack strikes the village. Alarms ring throughout Berk as warriors rush into the streets to defend their homes. Amid the chaos, we meet a young Viking named Hiccup. Unlike the other villagers, Hiccup isn't charging into battle. Instead, he's watching from the sidelines, fascinated by the dragons rather than simply fearing them. When a dragon suddenly swoops toward him, he is saved by the village chief, Stoik the Vast. Stoik isn't just Berk's fearless leader, he's also Hiccup's father. Frustrated by his son's constant misadventures, Stoik orders him to stay out of the way and return to the forge where he works under the village blacksmith. Hiccup dreams of becoming a respected Viking warrior, but nobody takes him seriously. Determined to prove himself, he unveils a machine he designed to trap dragons using ropes and mechanical force. Gobber dismisses the invention, believing it isn't ready for real use. While the battle rages on, a mysterious dragon appears. This creature moves faster than any dragon the Vikings have ever encountered. It's known as a night fury, a dragon so rare that nobody has ever seen one clearly. Seeing an opportunity, Hiccup secretly uses his invention. He fires the device into the darkness and hears a dragon scream. Convinced he's hit the night fury, he rushes into the forest to find it. However, before he can investigate, another dragon attacks him. Stoik rescues him once again, furious that Hiccup has endangered himself during the battle. When Hiccup tries to explain that he may have captured a night fury, nobody believes him. The next day, Stoik gathers the villagers and announces that he will lead an expedition to locate the dragon's nest and destroy it once and for all. During the meeting, Gobber argues that Hiccup deserves a chance to prove himself, despite his lack of strength. Reluctantly, Stoik agrees to let Hiccup begin Viking training. Meanwhile, Hiccup sneaks into the forest searching for the Night Fury. Eventually, he finds the dragon trapped in the ropes from his machine. This is his chance to become a hero. Knife in hand, he approaches the helpless creature. But as he looks into the dragon's eyes, he sees something unexpected: fear. The dragon isn't acting like a monster. It's terrified. Unable to kill it, Hiccup cuts the ropes and sets the creature free. The dragon attempts to fly away, but immediately crashes. One side of its tail has been damaged, making flight impossible. Confused and curious, Hiccup leaves the dragon behind and returns home. Soon after, Viking training begins. Hiccup joins several other teenagers, including the talented and fearless Astrid, whom he secretly admires. Gobber oversees their training and announces that the best student will eventually face a real dragon in combat. The lessons are brutal. The students learn how to defend themselves, distract dragons, and survive attacks. Unfortunately, Hiccup performs terribly. Whenever a dragon charges at him, he freezes in fear. Gobber repeatedly saves him and reminds him that hesitation means death when facing dragons. Yet, Hiccup can't stop thinking about the Night Fury. Unlike every dragon he's encountered during training, that dragon never attacked him. Eventually, Hiccup returns to the forest and finds the injured dragon still alive. He begins observing it from a distance and soon realizes the terrible truth. The dragon's damaged tail was caused by his own invention. Because of him, the creature can no longer fly or hunt. Feeling guilty, Hiccup starts bringing fish to feed the dragon. At first, the creature is suspicious, but slowly trust begins to form between them. During one feeding, the dragon playfully tosses half a fish back at Hiccup, almost as if offering to share. The friendship grows stronger each day. Hiccup eventually names the dragon Toothless because of his unusual retractable teeth. As they spend more time together, Hiccup discovers that Toothless is intelligent, playful, and surprisingly gentle. Back at training, Hiccup continues struggling socially. The other students see him as strange and weak. While studying dragon species, he notices that the Night Fury's entry contains almost no information. The Vikings know practically nothing about the creature. Meanwhile, Stoik and his warriors continue searching for the dragon nest. Their voyage becomes increasingly dangerous as they are repeatedly attacked by dragons guarding the secret location. As Hiccup's bond with Toothless deepens, he learns more about dragon behavior than any Viking ever has. During training exercises, he begins applying this knowledge. Instead of fighting dragons through force, he calms them through understanding. One day, while observing Toothless, Hiccup discovers a way to help him fly again. Using his blacksmithing skills, he designs a mechanical tail fin to replace the missing portion of Toothless' tail. After carefully attaching it, Hiccup helps Toothless take flight for the first time since the injury. The result is incredible. Together they soar through the skies above Burke. Though terrified at first, Hiccup soon experiences a freedom unlike anything he's ever known. Flying becomes the foundation of their friendship. As training continues, Hiccup's performance improves dramatically. His understanding of dragons allows him to handle situations that leave the other students helpless. Instead of attacking dragons, he calms them, feeds them, and earns their trust. The villagers are amazed. Suddenly, the awkward boy who was once ridiculed becomes the most successful trainee in Burke. Astrid, however, becomes suspicious. She can't understand how Hiccup transformed from the worst student into the best almost overnight. Meanwhile, Hiccup and Toothless continue exploring the world together. During one flight, they discover a field of unusual flowers capable of putting dragons to sleep. Hiccup later uses this knowledge during training, impressing everyone once again. As his reputation grows, Stoic returns from his voyage and is shocked to hear stories about his son's success. For the first time, he begins feeling proud of Hiccup. Yet Hiccup struggles with the attention. Everyone believes he's becoming a great dragon slayer, but the truth is exactly the opposite. His success comes from befriending dragons, not fighting them. Eventually, Astrid follows Hiccup into the wilderness and discovers Toothless. At first, she reacts exactly as any Viking would, but Hiccup stops her and convinces her to listen. Toothless then takes them both on a breathtaking flight through the clouds. As Astrid experiences the beauty of flying and sees Toothless' gentle nature firsthand, her perspective begins to change. During the flight, Hiccup explains what he's learned. Dragons aren't mindless monsters. They're frightened creatures acting out of survival. Still unconvinced, Astrid challenges him. That's when Toothless takes them somewhere extraordinary. Deep within a volcanic island, they discover the dragon's secret nest. Hundreds of dragons arrive carrying food. They aren't celebrating. They're terrified. At the center of the nest lies a colossal dragon known as the Red Death. The monstrous creature devours enormous amounts of food and punishes any dragon that fails to provide enough. The raids on Burke aren't acts of malice. They're desperate attempts by dragons to avoid becoming the Red Death's next meal. Astrid finally understands. The dragons have been victims all along. The next day, Hiccup is selected for the final dragon trial. In front of the entire village, he is expected to kill a dragon and prove himself as a true Viking warrior. Instead, Hiccup drops his weapons. He calmly approaches the dragon and tries to demonstrate what he has learned. He explains that dragons aren't evil and that fear drives their behavior. For a moment, it seems like his plan might work. Then everything goes wrong. The frightened dragon lashes out and panic spreads through the crowd. Suddenly, Toothless bursts into the arena and rescues Hiccup. The villagers immediately view him as a threat and capture him. Despite Hiccup's desperate pleas, nobody listens. Back home, Stoic confronts his son. Hiccup finally reveals the truth about the dragon nest and the Red Death. Unfortunately, Stoic focuses on one detail. Toothless knows the location of the nest. Ignoring Hiccup's warnings, Stoic uses Toothless to guide the Viking fleet to the dragon's lair. Before leaving, he tells Hiccup that he no longer understands his own people. Heartbroken, Hiccup believes he's failed. But Astrid refuses to let him give up. She reminds him that befriending a dragon took more courage than killing one ever could. Inspired by her words, Hiccup gathers his friends. Together they ride the training dragons and race toward the nest to stop the coming disaster. Meanwhile, Stoic's fleet reaches the island and attacks. Their assault awakens the true enemy. The gigantic Red Death erupts from beneath the mountain, dwarfing every dragon around it. The creature unleashes destruction on a scale the Vikings never imagined. As chaos spreads across the battlefield, Hiccup arrives. While the other riders distract the smaller dragons, Hiccup and Toothless challenge the Red Death directly. The battle is fierce. The Red Death's firepower overwhelms everything in its path. During the struggle, Toothless is captured and Hiccup nearly drowns while trying to save him. Fortunately, his friends help free both of them. The final confrontation takes place high above the clouds. Toothless and Hiccup work together perfectly, using everything they've learned about each other. They dodge attacks, exploit weaknesses, and finally lure the Red Death into a vulnerable position. At the critical moment, Toothless fires a blast directly into the giant dragon's mouth. The resulting explosion destroys the Red Death. However, the victory comes at a cost. Hiccup is thrown from Toothless during the explosion and plummets toward the ground. Toothless dives through smoke and fire, desperately trying to save his friend. When the battle finally ends, Hiccup survives, but he loses part of his leg in the process. Days later, he awakens to find Toothless waiting faithfully beside him. Together they step outside and witness a completely transformed Burke. Humans and dragons now live side by side. The creatures that were once feared have become friends, partners, and companions. Stoic finally admits he was wrong, expresses his pride in his son. Astrid shares a heartfelt moment with Hiccup, and the entire village embraces a future built on understanding rather than fear. As dragons soar through the skies above Burke, Hiccup realizes that changing the world didn't require becoming the strongest Viking. It simply required seeing the truth when nobody else could. And that's how a boy who couldn't kill a dragon became the one who taught an entire world how to live alongside them.